Let's talk a little bit more about commodities. We're bringing in our partners in this business. That's talking about financial derivatives company, Okoyemi Ogutade. Good morning to you. She's joining us live from downtown Lagos. Okoyemi, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, thank you. It looks like on Tuesday we're having a very nice and sweet conversation, perhaps with a cup of tea, about where the price of oil was going. And on Thursday, here we are. It looks like, well, perhaps we were too happy on Tuesday. Talk to us.
Yeah, like I said, the market is very sensitive to information at this moment. I mean, the American Petroleum Institute released a report, and in their report they revealed that crude inventories actually went up in the US last week. And this was also supported by the report released by the Energy Information Agency. And this kind of spoke to the market, and that's why we had a decline in the market of, about 10%. Currently, Brent crude is about $50, which is still looking good compared to what it was, in August. It was really bad in August. So I guess the market is, any little information just completely alters the trend of the market.
Yes. But the key issue here is about the U.S. But let's put in this news overnight about the Iran nuclear deal has now been signed on. The Obama's administration has gotten the support that so they're moving on. And of course, John Kerry, the Secretary of State, was on CNN talking about how this deal was reached, is moving forward, and he talked about the fact that, look, Iran will have to get back into the oil business. Not that Iran actually need the oil money to prosecute the nuclear deal. They'll find the money somehow, somewhere. Talk to us about this deal and how Iran, getting into the game this month of September, begin to test waters as to when this Middle East oil producer will get back fully into the oil business.
I mean, there's been reports ever since, like, say, first quarter of the year, and they've been talking about how as soon as the deals with Iran has been finalized, we should be expecting at least 600,000 barrels of oil a day. So, but the thing is, their production is going to increase to about 1 million by next year. And if you have this coming into the market, obviously with the current supply glut, which is going to add to it, and prices are going to go down further. And if that happens, I don't think $45 to 50 barrels will do it in Nigeria for the benchmark, because all prices are probably going to go way lower than that. It's just a matter of survival of the fittest until when the supply side of the energy market is sorted out before we can see prices trending back or stabilizing. So if Iran should come back in, then all prices are definitely going to go back down, probably even worse than what we had in August.
You talk about the survival of the fittest. So let's talk about Nigeria. Are we one of the fittest?
Oh, we're not. We're not. I mean, because if you look at Nigeria, as at the end of August, with vandalism and theft, within the energy sector, Shell closed down 2 of its, major pipelines, and obviously, I feel like Nigeria is going to be one of those countries that will probably have to cut down on production when prices are getting really low, because it wouldn't be sustainable for us to produce anymore.
Okay, very quickly, just 1 minute. Are you not encouraged, as an analyst and the rest of the team over there, some of your guys, by the spate of activities, actions, and words coming out of the NNPC about policing the refineries, getting the pipelines protected by the military, and using modern technology to do that, breaking down the NNPC? Do you think all of these are not strong enough yet to make us one of the fittest?
Well, all this put together probably like long-term, plans and goals. So in the short term, I'm not so sure that's enough. That's encouraging enough for the Nigerian energy sector, because I mean, if you're bringing in military, who's to say the military people aren't probably going to get bribed by by other corrupt officials to assist with theft, so to speak, and vandalism. So I'm not so sure that that's encouraging for the Nigerian energy sector. I feel like with what happened last week, closing down the Warri refineries because they couldn't pay the ex-militants, and they didn't have enough crude oil supply to the Warri refinery. So all this, if you're having this, and then the NNPC is telling you, okay, no, they're not going to give it to the private sector because they want to they want to operate it themselves. Historical information reveals that they have not been very efficient at doing that. So saying they're going to, bring in the military guys to help, reduce vandalism and theft, until when, we see an actual impact before we can, get encouraged. But for now, based on what has happened before, it's not so encouraging for me.
Okay, so you analysts sometimes could be really hard-nosed. Okay, do have a great day. We thank you. From Financial Derivatives Company. One of our analysts talking about that. Okay, the story she mentioned, she hinted about earlier, Shell has since reopened 2 key Nigeria pipeline shots over leaks and sabotage. That's what Reuters reported early today. That Nigeria's Anglo-Dutch Oil has reopened yesterday 2 key supply pipelines in Nigeria that were shut last week because of leaks and sabotage that forced it to declare a force majeure on crude oil exports. The statement came from the SPDC. The 2 pipelines take crude to the Bonny Light Export Terminal, one of Nigeria's main oil terminals. That force majeure, which is a legal term releasing a company from the contractual obligations when circumstances go beyond its control, has since been lifted on those 2 key Nigeria pipelines. We just need to update that for you.